Madden 22 already has its first update of the year. The game officially launched yesterday on the 17th, the early MVP edition, and yesterday we got a patch late in the day. Now, EA didn't put out any patch notes, and typically they're pretty good about putting out patch notes, but I don't think this was considered a typical update. This wasn't considered like a big update, one that was even maybe planned that far in ahead. It seems more like a quick hot fix because right now, zone coverages have been really bad to start Madden 22. In fact, I did a quick video over on my second channel yesterday just showing how bad they were, and if you're not subbed to the second channel, like, what are you doing? We just hit 11K over there. Go check it out. It's more gameplay related type stuff, so if you're just into the news for Madden, then don't worry about it. That's not the channel for you, but we do other things Madden related over there. Also, for those interested, I do have some copies of the game to give away. I'm going to be giving them away today, tomorrow, and Friday on my social media, Instagram and Twitter, so make sure you go follow over there. I'll be announcing it later today. Now, so far, Madden 22, I think outside of the fact that the deep zones are messed up, I think it's been pretty decent on the new consoles. I mean, player movement is something I'm still not a fan of, and the way they run routes specifically, but it's kind of a polarizing thing. Some people love it, some people hate it, so I don't really think it's a matter of good versus bad. I think it's just a matter of preference on that. But in terms of the deep zones in the game right now, they're just objectively bad. They are broken, and it almost feels deliberate, and I'll talk about that a little later in the video. Okay, so we're in practice mode. I'm going to show you a little bit of what they fixed in a minute, but first I want to show you kind of the state of what the zones are doing, so particularly the deep thirds and cover 3. So Stephon Gilmore on the outside, second best corner in the game. Now, this is a play a lot of people are running right now. You can get easy one-play touchdowns out of it, and that's not the whole problem, because one-play touchdowns have existed every year that this game has been a thing. There's instances in real life where that deep third would bite down on something to let something get over his head. That's not the whole issue. We'll get into it. But again, look how far away he is, and then the deep safety's nowhere to be found either. So I don't want the zones to play for me and to do anything for me, but they need to be in the vicinity of where they're supposed to be so that I can click on and make a play, contest the ball, pick it off. And you're probably saying, well, you're probably not on all Madden, Eric. That's the problem. Well, you're wrong. I'm on all Madden competitive. I'm on the best setting you can be on. So let me show you what happens in the replay here. You can see what he does is he just squats down, and what he's doing, I guess the logic here is he's looking at the tight end coming vertical as well, which fair enough, that could happen in real life, right? So that's not the whole issue. I'll get to it in a minute. But to me, he doesn't need to be doing this, right? Because this zone underneath is going to match anyway, and he's running with him. So he doesn't need to be underneath. And he shouldn't, both of these deep guys shouldn't be this far away from the one like super vertical threat on this side of the field. And if anything, like this safety needs to do something. Like he's kind of just not defending anything. He's letting the crosser run by him, and he's letting this go, whatever. Okay, but let me show you the issue. Now I'm going to shade over top. You can shade your coverage over top. So now the cornerback shouldn't bite, right? Because I'm telling him, I'm making an adjustment, stay over top. Nope, he's still gonna bite. So what's the point of shading over top if he's still gonna bite? And that's just one small example of an adjustment. And it's not just this play. You can do it with a ton of plays. You can do it one-on-one on the outside a lot of times. It's not as consistent, but in game, one-on-one, a streak on the outside sometimes will just clean run past a deep third, even if he's backed up. Now, of course, with a play like this against a cover 3 as well, you can do the old trick of putting the outside guy in a deep half, and he will defend, you know, the cover 3 bomb. So like the old ways of stopping cover 3 bombs, you know, they still work pretty decently, right? You could see that he's back there to defend it now. That's not the issue. Again, it's not the issue that you can bomb cover 3 because you've always been able to do that. It's that this is just an example of how bad the deep blue zones are, because in tons of other situations in the game, they're doing the exact same thing where there isn't a fix to just put a guy in a deep half to stop it. He's just clear getting ran by. Now, where they did make a bit of an adjustment was cover 2. You can see the 2 deep safeties here. So before the patch, this outside receiver here going down the sideline would be a one-play touchdown too. Now you can see the safety actually plays in and reacts to it. Keep in mind though, that is Devin McCourty. He's going to react better than a typical safety would. But on the screen here, you're seeing a clip from my second channel yesterday. That's how wide open it was yesterday. That's how wide open it was before the patch. So you can see, just for comparison, they made a difference. But the thing is, you can kind of still fit this in if you time it perfectly, which I won't nitpick that. But if you time this perfectly, I mean, you could see, I can maybe click on it, make a play there. So again, it's not as bad as it was before the patch, but you can still kind of get down the sideline against the safeties. So now if we go to something like this that's more spread out, right? You can see the outside receivers much further outside the numbers here. And again, We're in cover 2. Not only are we in cover 2, but McCourty's in the zone right now, so that means he should react even better to this. This should be the absolute best coverage you can get in this situation, and you're gonna see, look how he just drifts to the inside, and he's just so far away. I can't click on and make a play there because he's not in the vicinity. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. So watch how he plays here, how he's gonna start, like he starts going outside, which is great, and then he drifts to the middle. Now, let's be real here. A deep half is supposed to have the hash to the sideline. It's a big responsibility. The problem is the deep halves right now are pretty much playing like inside quarters. They're ignoring the numbers to the sideline, and they're staying pretty much numbers to the hash. You see, he kind of gets close to the numbers, then he shifts back, and then now he's just so far out of position that even while he's in the zone, this is as close as he can get. He's about 5 yards away. You can't click on and make a play there. You can't do anything. You're beat. But the thing that's most alarming here is that there's nothing even coming down this middle area of the field. There's nothing between the right hash and the numbers, and he's drifting to the middle of the field when he should be flaring out to the sideline. So here's another example just out of a different play. You would say, well, if he's not defending the sidelines well, you know, then he should be defending the deep middle well, but he's really not. Now, granted, he's probably close enough there where I could maybe click on and make a play, but the fact that he's just completely giving up the sideline means he should be all over that. Like, he should be on top of that because he's not really defending either thing well. The only difference here is like, maybe I can make a play on that, maybe. But for the fact that he's giving up the entire sideline, you know, he shouldn't have that much space down the seam either. And then again, right here, just what I'm going to show you, he's giving up the sideline. Look, you can't click on and make a play there. You can't click on and make a play. Everybody's so far away from the ball. Now, you can set your cloud flat zone drops to 20 yards and take it away, but you're kind of defeating the purpose. If you're setting your cloud flats to 20 to 30 yards back, you're pretty much defeating the purpose of calling a cover 2. So you just wouldn't call a cover 2. Like, why would you call a cover 2 if you're going to take your cloud flat and run him back as if he's in like a deep third damn near? So here's another example of why the deep thirds are bad. Look at my play art here, right? All I have is a corner route on the field and a drag. I have nothing else on the field. I have nothing going more vertical than this corner route. It's going to run right at the cornerback, and he's just going to be nowhere near it. Like, you can't click on and make a play there. That's the problem. He's way too far away. And you're probably saying, well, you were just complaining that they weren't getting deep enough. That's the problem. They don't do anything well. It's not that you can beat them over the top for touchdowns out of certain plays, because you could always do that. It's that they don't look how far he is away from this route. He doesn't do anything well. There's nothing else on the field in his vicinity. This is literally the only threat anywhere on the field. I could even take Cooper Kupp and put him to the right side. There's literally not a single thing even on this side of the field, and he's just going to still be 5 yards away from it. So he doesn't defend corner routes on the sideline well, but he also doesn't defend deep very well out of a number of different looks and plays. So what does he do well? And God forbid if I actually put a vertical route on his side of the field to run him off even more, I mean, then he just runs out of the play. Are there things I could do to stop this? Sure, I can make adjustments. I can put my curl flats to 20 to 25 yards and my coaching adjustments, slide them out a little bit, and it'll do a pretty good job at taking away the corner. I can then take the cornerback, since he's not defending the sideline well anyway, I can drop him into a deep half like I just showed a few minutes ago so that the streaks don't run by him as easy. But the point is, if I'm going to do that, then why even run a cover 3 to begin with? You've got to make so many adjustments to these coverage shells to where they're not even really the true coverage anymore. So that's really the issue. It's not that you can abuse zones with certain plays or setups, because you could always do that in Madden. The problem is that multiple coverages are just completely useless without completely changing what the coverage does entirely. They're nowhere near the ball on a number of things, and they don't do anything well. That's the issue. It's not that this deep third zone can get bombed over the top or that he can't cover the corner route. It's that he can't do either. He's not doing anything well. If he at least did one thing well, then that makes it easier to switch things up, make adjustments, and say, okay, this is the one weakness, let me take it away. It's that everything's a weakness against it. And here's just another cover 2 example going back to the verticals play. I mean, watch this. I mean, look how far away the safety is. I mean, it's just, you can't click on and make a play there. You can't. And that's the issue. And keep in mind, in the plays we were just showing where Devin McCourty was somewhat close in the middle of the field, keep in mind, he's got abilities. He's one of the best safeties in the game. A regular safety's not going to be that close. So that's kind of just another issue. But again, here, why is the safety so far inside? Even with the tight end running to him, he's favoring the inside so much instead of trying to split the difference between the tight end and the outside wide receiver. Here's just another cover 2 example on this deep post. Like, if the safeties are purposely going to play the middle tighter, then why is this wide open? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just like there's no consistency. Like, they don't defend the middle, but they don't defend the sideline either. They're 5-10 yards away from every route on the field. So honestly, right now, what I would recommend, I think something a lot of people are doing is playing cover 4 as more of like a base style defense because it's safer. You want to make sure you pick a play that says cover 4 drop though. If you pick cover 4 quarters or palms, it man matches and that could be exposed as well. If you only have cover 4 quarters or palms, you can call the play, and then when you're on the field, you can press wire triangle and you can play sticks, which is the LB or L1 button, and that'll cancel like the man matching and they'll just play like regular zone. But you see here, we're in a cover 4, and this will just play a little bit better. Like, you're not at least going to get bombed over the top, at least not as much. I mean, you could see the cornerback is still playing stupid, but because of where the safety's positioned on this, you could click on and make a play right there. Again, this is cover 4. You'll see the cornerback is still, like, you see how he's doing this, like, just not going deep. Like, his responsibility is just to go deep, and he just keeps saying, like, wait, like, he keeps biting on this for some reason. The thing is, at least with a cover 4, this guy's in position, right? I know I scored here, but you as a user could click on and make a play here. You're close enough to get a swat, maybe get a pick there. You can contest this catch. And then the other thing here is that you won't be getting beat just down the sideline, at least as easily. Yes, you could still run past him because zones in general are just kind of weird right now, but you could see at least he's in position here every step of the way. So you're not just getting easy one-play touchdowns thrown on you. So that's kind of a PSA. Stick with cover 4. You know, you can still run man. Man has its weaknesses, of course, but at least you're not going to consistently just get bombed over the top every play. Now, I do think once one of the big patches comes out, it's not just a hot fix. I think they probably will address it. But right now, from what I have heard, is that this is intentional. I don't know why it's intentional, but that's what I've heard. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm not sure why this is what they chose to do. They did address the deep halves a little bit, but they're still, as you can see in some of those clips, still very open down the sideline on streaks, and that's not good. They need to at least be in the vicinity that you're telling them to be in when you pick that play, or even adjust them to play the outside. They still don't actually play the outside. So that's it for today. Small update, but the biggest issue in the game is still ongoing. So just wanted to make sure you guys knew what was going on. I will see you guys next time.